Hey, good day, Livingston High School. Dr. Paul Drake, principal here at Livingston High School. Here to just put out a quick video of some of the things that we're doing here at LHS as we begin the first day of school on August 6th. First of all, I just want to say we are just ecstatic to have everybody returning. We're looking forward to having our students back here on campus, or having our students lines online and interacting and learning with us. It's a goal of ours in order to keep our students safe and accelerate learning. That's our mission. That has been our mission since this has taken place. We want to make sure we don't get behind educationally, and we give our students great opportunities, and we do everything we can, especially for our seniors, to have a memorable senior year and to get everybody back here on campus. Today, I've walked around. We have band out in the parking lot practicing. They have their mask on. They're socially distanced. We have cheer camp going on, same type of deal. We have our fast camp going. So it's been good to see students return to campus. So we're going to walk through some things here. I'll discuss some things with you. It'll hopefully clarify some issues for you. It'll probably bring up some more questions. If you do have more questions, you can email me here at the high school and I'll answer them to the best of my ability and get that information out to you. Things are ever changing, so make sure you're keeping up with the social media page, the website, as well as checking your email, and we'll go through that as we get going. Also, registration is still going on, so make sure you get registered. You have to register before we can get you a schedule. So let's get started here today, and hopefully I clarify some things for you. First and foremost, masks are a requirement. Masks are an important part of how we can effectively and safely open the building and keep the building open. It will limit the amount of people who will be exposed and the need to be quarantined. So masks are extremely important. It is a governor order of the state, as well as TEA guidelines and guidance, as well as CDC recommendations. So we're going to have to wear a mask. Dr. Hawkins has mentioned before, we know that they can be politicized and some of those things, but I'll gladly wear one of these masks, these face coverings like this, if it means that I can get students back here on campus and we can get back to learning. So the mask can be the disposable mask that you can get at CVS or Walmart. They can be the gator type mask, some sort of other cloth covering. But in order to promote unity and to bring everybody back and have some empathy for everybody and really relate to everyone, we're asking that you wear a mask that's a solid color: green, white, gray, black, white, or you have a pastel look, a camouflage type look, plaid look, something like that, a sports team, a college, Livingston Lions for sure. So we're asking that you have something that isn't divisive. So we're asking that you don't politicize your mask. You don't put statements on there. We don't want you to have the skeleton or the skull crossbones on there. I know that some of you deer hunters have those kind, but we're also asking that you don't have those. So we're asking that we just kind of have a pretty easy, basic mask that you have. You need to provide your own. It's a governor's order that if you're over 10, you need to have them anyway. So we'll have some on campus, but we can't hand them out every day. So it is an expectation that you do have your own mask and that you bring it here to school. So one of the things that'll be different is arrival. The doors will not open till 7. Those of you who get here extremely early, you know that we tend to, once we have somebody on duty, we'll go let y'all in and we can monitor. But this year, doors will open at 7. So buses will drop off at 7. They'll adjust their routes a little bit. Parents, please don't drop your kids off at 6:05, 6:10. Please find a way to where they can get here, 6:50, 6:55 at the earliest, and then we'll open the doors at 7. Students, as soon as you arrive on campus, you'll begin practice social distancing, and your mask must be worn upon entrance. One thing I will say is we are the high school campus. We are older students. There is an expectation of maturity and behavior in order for us to maintain that social distance, in order for us to keep each other safe, in order for us to keep our doors open. So with the high school students, we expect some of that to be done through your maturity and through on your own as well. The tardy bell will ring at 7:30. So that's new. So you get 15 minutes of rest. You guys who are always here about 7:17 having to get a tardy slip, hopefully you can still get here at 7:17 and be on time. So the tardy bell will ring at 7:30, and that's when class will start. When you arrive at campus, you will report directly to your first period class. You will not hang out in the gym or the cafeteria. You'll report immediately to first period. The athletic hallways, the fine arts hallways, those won't be open in the morning. So your baseball bats and your tennis rackets and your band equipment, some of those things, we're going to have to pre-plan on having those somewhere else during the day, because those areas will not be open at first. The drop-off will be the same. So if you're a freshman parent and you're new and you're coming in, you'll come in 350. You'll take a right into the high school, or a left if you're coming from the south, but you'll come in and you will come all the way around until you get to the field house, and then you'll enter what we call the band parking lot right here, and you'll come up this side of Memorial Walkway, pull all the way up, drop your student off. If your student's not ready to get out of the car, we ask that you pull over, park, and then have them get out. But just come all the way up, pull out, and then you'll go right back out the way that you came, and then you'll exit. Student parking lot, same as it's always been, and buses will come off of 190 and pull through the back. The only entrances that will be available is the bus entrance for students and Memorial Walkway. No one will enter the front of the building. We have to take thermal scanners and temperature checks as you walk in, so we'll only have the two places open, and we hope that to be pretty quick. If you ding on the thermal scanner, the temperature check, we'll get you to the nurse's station. We'll take a more accurate temperature reading, and then we'll decide if you're over 100 or not. Breakfast. This is new to the high school, but not new to the district. So some of you are used to this if you're coming from the junior high and if you had elementary here, but breakfast will be in the classroom. So it'll be available as students begin entering the room at 7 o'clock. It'll be there for you. And that'll be something new for the high school and something new that we've done, but just something that we need to keep the large congregation areas empty. So breakfast will be in the classroom, and it'll be ready for you. Classrooms in general, the desk and tables will be socially distanced as instructionally possible. In some cases, if we have a large class size due to scheduling and some things that we have to do, that class might move to a science lab or to another large open area in order for us to do that. The desk and tables will be cleaned as often as possible throughout the day. And also, masks are required in the classroom. The teacher will have a face shield more than likely, but some may wear a mask or a gaiter type covering, but your masks are required. Once again, this is so that we can stay open. And we'll define close contact here in a minute and some of those things, but it is important that we have our masks. That way, if we are exposed and we're near somebody for more than 15 minutes, the mask covering, according to CDC and TEA guidelines, limits that exposure and kind of takes it away. Transitions will be different. As a district and as a high school principal, we value interaction. You guys know me. I don't like earphones in the hallways. That way you have to talk to each other. I'm big on interactions, but due to this, we can't stand under the main stairwells and have conversations. A big important part of transitions this year is that we keep moving. We can't stand outside the classroom and wait for our friend to walk by. We have to go from one class to the next. We can't have hallways crowded. We're going to do some different things. There's possible one-way traffic in certain areas, but we've also worked with a company who's talked to us about opening the building and measurements and some of those things. And all of our hallways are about 12 feet. So we can put a 3-foot center down the stripe, and we can have traffic on each right side if we need to. We're just going to see if traffic bottles up in those things. That's what I'm saying. The Thursday and Friday, those first 2 days of school, we're going to look at some things and find a more efficient way to do things by Monday. So everybody will have to be flexible in regards to that. The bathrooms will be open. We might have some people monitor how many people go in and out and limit some of that, but we do encourage hand washing. That is still the number one thing to fight any type of virus is water and soap. That is more effective than hand sanitizer. So we do encourage hand washing. Once again, the athletic hallways will be shut down and those things. But, we're going to use common sense. We ask that you move quickly from one class to the other. You're not going to be able to walk 3 or 4 of you standing next to each other. It just won't work. So you have to wear your mask in order to limit the exposure, and you have to get from point A to point B quickly and promptly. We'll walk with you and we'll work with you through that. So we just need everybody to be on the same page. And once again, there's a level of responsibility that we'll all have. Lunch, this is probably the newest, biggest thing to the high school. And before I talk about lunch, I'll hit line time. You will still have an advisory class where you have 30 to 35 minutes to work on homework, to work on things from other class, to work on things assigned by the advisory teacher. Also, you'll be able to sign up if you need, let's say you have geometry honors as a freshman and you need to go take a test in English honors, your teachers will communicate and you'll be able to go there. So we'll still have that available to you, but we won't have the free roaming that we typically have. And believe me, I'm a big fan of children having time throughout the day to, one, have a brain break, to two, make responsible decisions to get to the tutorials they need to get to. And once again, I think interacting is important, but with the guidelines from the state, the guidelines from TEA, and the guidelines from CDC, we can't have those many things. But now I'll touch on lunch. This will be the most unique regulation, and we have to have cooperation. Students will have an assigned designated section in a certain area based on their 5th period class. They'll have to sit in that area. Students will order by a specified time, either the day before or the morning of, through the NutriSlice app. You order your meal, it'll be delivered to your table. You'll be able to have it right there so we don't have the line and the big crowd as we go through the food. Movement will be limited, but not completely restricted. We are high school. Students do need to go to the restroom. Students can throw away their trash, but there won't be free roam from the top level to the bottom level. We have to limit that exposure. So it will be unique. I know one of the complaints has been, I don't want my kid to go and have to have these strict rules. Well, there are some things we have to do that's just required for us to be open, but we will also work with students and use a common sense approach. So lunch will be different, but we still want to give you a table, put you by some friends, and let you have some good conversation while you eat. And then we'll probably get up, we'll ask certain sections, wash your hands, take care of your section, throw away your trash, and then get you to the next place. So we've kind of walked through arrival, transitions, what those will look like, and lunch. So now we'll get to dismissal here. We're going to have staggered release times. So student drivers will be released at 3:20. They will come out the front doors. So if there's any stragglers, but student drivers will come out the front doors, and you will walk to the parking lot. You'll get in your car and you'll take off. That'll also help with traffic, we think, as well. Car riders at 3:25, you'll be dismissed. You'll go out Memorial Walkway. We need to limit congregation. We don't need you to wait on your bus rider girlfriend and walk them to the bus. We have to stay separate, and we have to break these times up. So we need, once again, there's a level of expectation of maturity and understanding on a high school student's part to go where they're supposed to go and get where they're supposed to be, and not be deceiving their teachers or deceiving where they're supposed to go. 3:25 to 3:30, depending on when buses arrive, bus riders will be released and will report directly to their bus because one of the largest areas of congregation is while we're waiting for the bus. So now we'll wait in class, we'll be dismissed, and we'll get there. Social distancing should be practiced. So if you're in car rider line and your parent hadn't got to you yet, we expect the mask to be worn. We expect you to practice that social distancing while you're waiting to be picked up. Parents should remain in their cars, which is not a huge issue at the high school, but that still needs to remain the same. If a parent has an appointment, come to the office, they need to come to the front entrance after they pick up their student. And then you must report directly to your designated areas. Once again, this is a level of expectation of maturity and those things, so we need you to take care of that as we go. Another big change will be visitors. To provide a safe environment, the campus will be closed to outside visitors. No outside food or drink deliveries will be allowed. And I know that's happened a lot. There's no eating lunch with students. We have to, we have designated areas and seats for students during lunchtime. So we don't have parents who come up here and eat. We can't have a lot of outside food and drink being brought in. So that'll be new, but that's something that we'll have to do. Checking your student out. Parents can obviously check their students out. But if a student checks out and they return to campus, they have to have a note from a doctor or from a court or from, whatever vital meeting they had to have that needs to be done. If you're just checking your student out to go take them to lunch or something like that, they cannot return. So make sure we're checking out the proper way. All visitors must have a mask. They'll be screened at the front when they'll be screened with the COVID questions when they arrive, and those things. So meetings with APs, counselors, diagnosticians, those things still have to take place. We totally understand that, but we ask that you set up those meetings by appointment so that way we know who's coming, when they're coming, and when they're going to arrive on campus. So make sure we set those things up. Obviously, there's some meetings that have to be face-to-face and some meetings that might have to happen quickly, but we ask that you try to do those virtually when possible and also through appointment. A big key will be personal protection. So the close contact definition is being directly exposed to spit or something like that. Infectious secretions is what they call it. Or being within 6 feet for a cumulative duration of 15 minutes while not wearing a face mask, covering, or shield. So if you're closer to somebody for more than 15 minutes at 6 feet, but you have your face mask, that prevents you from having to be quarantined or you having to, not report to school and those things. So that's why this mask is vital. It helps keep keeps us safe. Number one, helps keeps the adults safe and helps us to keep our doors open. That way we can accelerate learning and we can continue to come to school. There is daily cleaning and disinfection that will take place, fogging, all those things. Our wonderful custodial department has done a wonderful job on planning and cleaning and the plans that they've put in place in order to continue to keep the building clean. Students, especially high school students, you should know this. Wash your hands frequently. Don't rub your eyes. I personally have the bad habit of chewing your fingernails. Don't do that. So, those things you have to take care of and you have to be responsible with. So make sure you do those things and you just have good hygiene. That's a big key. Avoid unnecessary close interactions. Avoid those throughout the school day. That way we can keep ourselves safe and others safe and members of our family safe. Student support. So we know this has been a long time. We know this is an anxious time, a nerve-wracking time for students, especially high school students who are able to keep up with the news and keep up with social media and those things. But there's a lot of support. Adults in the building are available for you. Your favorite teacher, your favorite coach or sponsor, the counselors, the assistant principals, myself, we're all available for you to be open about discussing nerves, fears, questions you have, whatever it may be. So from this point forward, we're all here Monday through Friday. Call us, ask questions, and let us help you. That way we can continue to help your social emotional learning and your mental health as well. The library will still be open. Mr. Boyd will have some guidelines in the library and some things that he'll have, separate tables and those things. But some of you we know like to go in there for the silence. That'll still be available to you. You'll be able to get in there and we can help you with that. Instruction. So a key part of school is student safety and then learning. So instruction, first and foremost, if you're watching this video, check your email daily. I don't know if an update will come daily, but you need to check it daily and be responsible for that. Chromebook distribution, that information will be coming out shortly, but be looking for that on the website, on the school's Facebook page, as well as through your email. Classes, whether they're lines online or lines on campus, they're going to develop a routine with the Chromebook of how to turn in some digital assignments. That way, if we do have to quarantine or you do go remote, you kind of have a pattern of how we do things. So that'll be addressed as well. The remote asynchronous instruction, which is our lines online attendance, that will still be required. So you're going to have an advisory time that'll be through a counselor or an assistant principal, depending on your alpha. And each day you have to log into a certain assignment. That's how we take our attendance, and that's some guidance that we have from TEA. It'll be some TSI, ACT, SAT type prep, tutorial session possibly with a teacher that you need, a Zoom meeting with a counselor or AP, and then some social emotional learning as well that we can put in there during that time. So these are required because we want the lines on campus and the lines online to have a relationship with the school, to have a relationship with an adult in the building, because that's what can make education important to you and make it really great for us. Grading policy is the same as class. It's not going to be easier. It's not going to be harder. It's not going to be the same as when we took off in March. You're going to have assignments that are due and you're going to have testing that's due. Testing might be required through a Zoom meeting. It'll be flexible, but there might be some tests for, AP biology too. You might have to meet with the teacher so she can watch you as you take the test, some of those things. But we'll get more into that with your teacher and your instructor, but just know those things could happen. But if you're required 14 grades here on campus, you're going to have 14 grades online. So you're going to have to make sure you're keeping up with your work and staying on track throughout. Certain courses such as welding, construction tech, CNA, the CNA is one of the most hands-on courses we have. Some of those things won't be available to you. So if you select lines online, we might have to change your electives and possibly your endorsement based on which classes that you're signed up for. You should receive a personal phone call from a counselor in regards to that. Athletics, clubs, organizations, lines online will not participate or compete in UIL academics, BPA, those type of things. You can still be a member of NHS. You'll have to get your volunteer hours and those things, but the competition type things you won't be able to do, band, those things, one act play. So you need to make sure you contact that sponsor for more information on those type of things. Final thoughts, check your email daily, stay in touch with the school. Also, we're going to be unified here at LHS. We're all coming from more than 100 days off, it seems like, and we need to come together, work together, and be there for each other. So that is extremely important that we're all Lions here. We're all in this together. The APs and I and the counselors, we're going to be very understanding of different feelings you might have and different thoughts you might have. So feel free to ask us those questions. Positivity from the teachers all the way down to the students. That's the way we can get through this together. Ask questions, be informed by the right information. Our district is unique compared to Big Sandy, and our district's unique compared to HISD. So make sure you realize what we do as a district might be different than somebody else. So be informed, and we'll get through this and get back to normal as soon as possible, as soon as our medical community deems that we can. But we're going to have a great year here at LHS. We put a lot of thought and planning into it. But one thing we want is we want students back on campus, and we want to be able to talk to our students, visit with our students, and really get that learning in place. So I appreciate you listening to today. If you have questions, please let us know. Hopefully this clarified some things for you, but it also might have made you think of more things that you want to ask. So please feel free to email us and let us know. Appreciate all that you're doing, and can't wait till August 6th. Thank you.